We've got a pair of stories we want to talk about tonight, brought to us by two emails that we got from two different viewers. First up, taxes. So the U.S. Senate is going to be talking about what's next for taxes a little later this week, so we should talk about it too. Carolyn wrote in and said, the president said there would be no taxes on Social Security. Do you suppose he forgot that? And Carolyn, I'm detecting a little bit of sarcasm in your message, possibly. Did I get that right? It is true. President Trump has called for no tax on Social Security. It was one of the several tax cuts that he proposed during his address to Congress back in March.
I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
So no tax on tips. We'll start there. That passed the Senate last month with unanimous consent. The House still has to take it up. We'll let you know what happens. No tax on overtime was presented in the Senate, but that one's still in committee. But Carolyn wants to know about no tax on Social Security. I got to say, I don't think the president forgot about it. Remember when I said that the Senate is going to be talking about taxes this week? Well, that is because the deadline is approaching to make a decision on the so-called Big Beautiful Bill, the tax and spending plan the House approved last month. It doesn't include no tax on Social Security, but it does include a tax break specifically for seniors. Anyone age 65 and older would get an extra deduction of up to $4,000 a year on their income tax. The more money that you make, the smaller that number gets. And this would be temporary. It expires in 2028 if it goes into effect. The Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center found a retiree making $50,000 a year would probably see a tax cut of about $500 a year. So it's not nothing, not quite the level of savings you might see by eliminating the tax outright. The Senate does have their own version of this, proposing a larger $6,000 deduction instead of the $4,000. The reason both chambers favor the deduction: it's less expensive. Eliminating taxes on Social Security would cost more than $1 trillion. The deduction, if made permanent, would cost $200 billion over the next 10 years. President Trump set a deadline for July 4th to get that big spending bill to his desk. We'll let you know what happens, of course. Moving on now to the question about the weather, specifically flooding. Earlier this month, we showed you this video in Sanford. One of those powerful summertime storms came through and just flooded that area. We're talking about water rescues and home evacuations, streets that were closed. It's like video that you typically would see following a hurricane. A viewer named Adam pointed us to this map. It's part of the system called Flood Inundation Mapping and Alert Network. It shows all of the flood gauges in North Carolina, and there are hundreds of them. Those green dots mean water levels are normal. Orange, red, purple dots, that means that the area is flooding. This system can be very, very helpful to let people know where flood-prone areas are, when those areas are flooding, and alerts to first responders to some of those problem areas. And Adam noticed something very interesting about the map. He wrote, Sanford has no gauges, but Cary has a boatload, something you could cover in depth. Dramatic voice, in depth. Was that good enough? He's right. Cary has about 40 gauges. Sanford has 0 gauges. The question is why? Well, for starters, FEMA doesn't install the gauges themselves. That's going to be up to state agencies or cities or community grounds and companies, that sort of thing. Anyone who wants a gauge in their area can get one, but it's up to them. They then buy the gauge and get it online. Then they contact FEMA to add it to their system. The reason Cary has so many is because the town made a concerted effort to install them. It's part of something they call the Smart and Connected Cities program that started in 2016. The town partners with local companies like SAS to upgrade the city. Things like traffic cameras, synced traffic lights, automated HVAC management, and flood gauges. So Adam, it's kind of on the city or on the community to get these gauges for themselves. Now, we did reach out to FEMA to ask if they have any suggestions for cities like Sanford to get some of these gauges, but we haven't heard back yet. We'll let you know. Just 2 topics in tonight's in-depth mailbag. What else do you want the news to be talking about? Send me an email, Dan@WRAL.com. Tell me what is on your mind, and we will go in depth.